This gonna add some more detail to this painting. You can see on the easel there's quite a few details I can go ahead and darken up, add a few more things. It's one of those paintings again that I feel could really benefit from a few more, just a little bit more work on it. There's not really that much to do, but thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoy this one. I think I'm going to kick off by just adding some more darker tones to this mountain here, and we'll just take it from there. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I know a couple of times I've had a few problems with my mic. The last live that I did, I watched it back, and the last sort of 15 minutes the sound cut out, so I don't know what's going on there. And then before then, a few issues that I had was my mic just switched from coming through both speakers to just one. So just a few teething problems really, but hopefully I don't have any issues on this one. Fingers crossed. So I'm just mixing up a little bit of darker colour now, just going into a little bit of brown. I want this, just for the mountain side, I want it to be quite a bit darker. I'm just mixing this colour now in my palette, so I apologise you can't see what I'm doing. But I think it's quite a nice scene, and hopefully we get more of a complete, there we go, a nicer finish. Like I said in other videos, that I'm guilty of just finishing paintings and not keep going. I underwork a lot of my paintings. So this is just one that I dug out, yep, of my ever-growing collection. And I just thought this will be beneficial definitely for some darker tones. So yeah, my plan is to go live each Tuesday, but I will let you know if I can't make a live, if I can't go live. I know my son and my wife are breaking up from school. My wife works in a school as well, so they're going to have the same holiday, so I might not be able to get on live, but I will let you know closer to the time. I think it's they've got a week left in school and then they break up. Either my wife or my son has 2 weeks and the other has 1, so we'll just have to see. Hopefully I can do another live. I do enjoy these live streams, and it's a new thing to me, so I think this is the 5th one, I think. So I really do enjoy doing this, and hopefully I can build a little bit of a community as you watch each week. Hopefully I can get a new routine. I am one of those people that likes routines, so obviously before I used to go to the gym pretty much enough every day, but obviously health reasons that I can't really go to the gym at the moment. Hopefully things will change as things improve. I will be able to get back and do a little bit of the gym. Obviously not as intense as I used to, not the same as I used to. Obviously things have changed with my current health issues. But one of the things that I had an appointment last week, and the doctors that I saw, they were quite impressed with the improvement. And what does that mean? Well, it doesn't look like I need to have any devices. They was talking heart transplant and it was going to be a couple of devices, but now, obviously, moving forward, the medication is classed as a responder. People in my the people that had the severity of heart failure that I do, a lot of people that that start on the medication therapy don't respond, but I think he said 2% of people on the medication respond well. So I'm really lucky in that way. Really lucky that I'm responding well to the treatment. Long term, I don't really know what that means, but I've still got heart failure, so I've got to obviously take things easy. There's a lot of things I can't do that I used to, but it's not the end of the world, and things have rapidly improved from where I was when I was first diagnosed. So that's a little update on where I am with my health. And the good thing about that, really, you've got to turn things into positives, right? The good thing about that is I do have more time to commit to YouTube. So my channel, I can put more time into that. Obviously, I've got family commitments, things like that, but I do have a little bit more time to commit, which I'm going to do. And it's just nice as well to have a little focus on something else, because there's certain things I can't do anymore. It just gives me a little escape. My art always does. It gives me an escape from problems, stress, anything like that. It's just a really good way to forget what's going on around. And like anything, like any sort of hobby that you may have, it's nice to find that time just for a bit of you time, a bit of downtime. I think everyone should have something to do, to forget, something to do after work, after obviously a busy life. Just something that you can do to switch off. Oh, hi, Daniel. I didn't come back sooner, needed a crap. Okay, it happens. I was also worried about the same thing. Just had a few drinks, so I'm thinking hopefully I don't need the toilet halfway through this live. But welcome, Daniel. Whereabouts are you from? It's nice to have you here. Oh, hi, Jim. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate you. What time is it there in New Zealand? I never remember what everyone's, what time scale it is, especially in New Zealand. I'm presuming it's probably late, is it not? York. Okay. Oh, I love York. Been there a few times. Really nice, especially the architecture, the buildings. I really do like York. We've been there. Last time was a few months ago, 11:10 p.m. Okay, so it's not too late. Hopefully I don't keep you up too long, but grateful that you can join. Hopefully you can see, by the way, you can see enough. There we go. Just move the camera a little touch. So I think some of these rocks as well, they're a little bit square looking. I don't know, when I scrape these out, I think maybe I couldn't find the regular card that I used to scrape out, and I've just found that now in the back of my easel. This is the card that I usually use. Can you see the rounded corner? That's what I normally use. That's my usual scraping tool. So maybe I couldn't find that when I did this painting. I can't remember. Oh, by the way, this painting is on my channel. So the first time I did this, you can find this video on my channel if you want to see. Paint the Minster. Yeah, definitely. It really is a fascinating building. I did go up the Minster once. Really fascinating building. I went on the there's like a little sort of balcony. I don't know what you can walk, and you get some really nice views. And it's quite similar to Lincoln. There's Lincolnshire. There's nice sort of abbey there as well, and I think a castle. Is there a castle? But yeah, I do love when we go to different places here in the UK. We used to get out quite a lot. We used to travel quite a bit. Obviously, my wife being working in a school, when it comes to the holidays, she just wants to get out. She wants to do things, weekend, stuff like that. So we do get around. It's just been a bit, I haven't been around as much. We don't get out as much just with the situation that we've been in. Health-wise, I've not been driving. But hopefully, well, that can change anyway. That can change pretty soon. He was born in 98. Is that light? Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know it set a light. It wasn't me. I used to be a firebug, but yeah, it's good to know. I like learning things, and thank you for letting me know. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Maybe let's add a little bit of raw sienna, a little bit of red to this scene. Just give it a little bit of different colour. See, that's quite nice to do. And I'm just, if you can see, I'm just leaving a few little highlighted areas so these can be rocks within the mountain side as well, just to give it more interest. I don't want to paint it one sort of tone, and that's another thing that I wanted to do with this scene as well, because it was just one sort of bulk colour. Love that creek painting the other day. 100%. Oh, cool. I draw a lot of encouragement watching you work. Oh, thank you, Jim. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's a really good thing, YouTube. It's certainly something that I didn't have when I started out painting. This was back in the day, sort of probably 90s, maybe late 80s, actually, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to work it out. But yeah, there was no YouTube then. I think even mobile phones were very, well, they'd just come about. And I remember watching a documentary, a program. I was a kid then. And I remember watching this program. I think it was like school time program. And they were talking about mobile phones. They were just about they were just sort of coming about. And I remember the presenter of this program who was saying that in a few years' time, everyone's going to have these. So yeah, it's just interesting to see how things change. So I think we're really lucky now to have things like, well, social media platforms like YouTube. Not really a massive fan of the other social medias. Facebook, I don't really do much Facebook, to be honest. I've got Instagram, and that's as far as it goes, really. I spend most of my time here on YouTube, so this is a good place to catch me. Yeah. There are a lot of really, really good artists here on YouTube, and it's just a brilliant platform to, if you do have any skills or talents, maybe you do painting yourself, then why not start your YouTube channel, start a journey. And it's also good to for improvement. You know, you can build a community, get advice, things like that. It's a really good platform for that. And you don't have to take it as serious. You can just use it just maybe as a hobby. It's a really nice thing being on YouTube. If you've got a voice, it's nice to be heard. If you've got something you want to share, it's nice to be seen. So that sort of thing, if you do consider starting a YouTube, then go for it. It really is a nice way to spend your time, especially if you're not working, if you're not working, or you just need something to focus on. It really is a nice way to spend your time. So you're working today, Jim? What about you, Daniel? Are you? What do you do? Let me know. Do you like to paint yourself? Not yourself, you know what I mean. Do you like to paint as well, Daniel? I know Jim does some watercolours and stuff. So hopefully this is handy and it's useful. I will be leaving this video up as well on my channel, so if you do miss some of it, you have to pop out. I realise that you've got commitments and work and all those sort of things. You can always catch this video in your own time as well. And one of the things I do, I'm asking, if you do watch this video, then please watch as much as you can. I'm not asking you to watch the whole thing, but one of the things I'm trying to do is improve my watch time retention. So that really does help my channel. If you're busy, I appreciate that. Just you could play my video in the background, have a brew, sort of leave my video on for as long as you can. I really do appreciate that. Stages are roaring here, going into the hills for 2 weeks soon, so we'll be put a video up soonish. Yeah, it's all about when you can, you know. There's no pressure for YouTube, but it is nice to see New Zealand as well, so I would look forward to that. Jim, what are you going to do in the woods or in the, let's see, going into the hills? What are you going to be doing in the hills, Jim? Is it like a camping thing or just being in nature, that sort of thing? Okay, I think I'm gonna add some really darks here, actually, because I want this layer is sort of gone. It looks like one sort of layer. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add some really dark to this. I want to separate it from the back, the mountain behind. So I'm going to differentiate those. Just and if you notice as well, when I'm doing this, it just really it gives the rocks a really nice pop. It just helps them stand out, just helps them look a lot more. We are over on here with red deer. Oh, red deer, nice. I know we have here, there's National Trust. We have been members that a few times to that. And I did say to my wife I would like to join up again, sign up. I think it's £12 or something for the month for a National Trust membership. And within that, there's all these country parks, all these places that you can go. And you have these manor houses and all these sort of historical buildings. That's really something that I would like to do again. They've got Lime Park, where apparently, what's it called? Can't think of the show. There's a program, a film, typical English film. I can't remember what it's called, but it was filmed there. So there's quite a few famous places as well. And it's just nice, especially it's not like New Zealand here. We do get a lot of rain, and it's nice because there's always somewhere to go when the weather's not too great. This time of year, even in the summer, it's nice. So I would like to join that again and get around. There's definitely some nice things to paint in these National Trust places. Just nice to visit different places as well. They're all over the country, so I do enjoy that. Okay, now I'm just gonna a bit more of that red. This raw sienna. Just pop that a little bit here. I should have got some tissue just to blot out, but never mind. I can sort of go with it. I can use a brush to dab out. There we go. I've covered some of those rocks, but it's okay. It'll be time to switch brushes, I think, soon. This is quite a nice brush for for holding water. You can see a really nice tip as well, so you can get some nice details, a little bit of details. You just want to be careful with your bigger brushes if you're going in for the details. Usually when I start a painting, it's normally the Hake, a big brush, and then obviously as I finish my first wash and start applying glazes and second washes, things like that, then I start using my smaller brushes, which is a tip for you. Use the biggest brush you can, and then when you can't get the details you want, switch up to smaller pointy brushes. Liner brush is a really good one, and then just these sort of mop brushes as well, and rounds, they're always nice to use. So you can see what's happening here now. Hopefully you can see a difference. I certainly can as I'm painting it. It just gives a little bit more contrast, and obviously when you add the darks, it helps the lights as well pop, helps your highlights, just gives it a better look, really. So I think excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cough. I don't know, I keep getting sort of I can't clear my throat. Okay, there we go. And I'm thinking I'm going to add a few trees here as well. So let's I'm going to switch brushes now again. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I know my son's had a bit of a cold lately. I think I've got something off him. But at least I can still speak, which is a good thing. Now, just gonna. Oh, you can see my brush has started splaying a bit. Okay, just gonna go and add a few more trees to this mountainside. Hopefully you can see that's quite nice. Yes, those mop style brushes look really good. Only got one of them. Okay, well, maybe that's something you could invest in. Depends what size, depends what brand you use or want, but they're reasonably priced, I suppose. It depends what you're after. I do like the synthetic mix, so a bit of natural hair and synthetic, which is obviously a bit less expensive. It can be expensive if you use natural squirrel hair or whatever it may be. They can get a little bit costly. Yeah, it's all about what you can afford, what you can sort of stretch to. What was your line of work, Dave? You did mention, but I forgot. Yeah, Jim, I did work in food manufacturing, or do. I worked in the chiller area within that. So there was a production line, people working on the line, sort of packing the food that we make. And there's a chilled area where we add the ingredients, all the ingredients for the kitchen. It's frozen food that we make, but it's not a frozen place, if you know what I mean. There's it's more of an ambient factory, and I work in the chiller. So what that means is we'd get a lot of curries and things like that we'd make. So we'd get work orders. You know, there might be chicken korma or jalfrezi, things like that, for supermarket sort of frozen food. Those little ready meals. And what my job was in the chiller, we'd have recipes and things to follow, so there'd be ingredients. A lot of what I did was like the tomato paste. There were big barrels of tomato paste, barrels of passata and chopped tomatoes. We'd have pumps to pump them out. So a lot of the foods did contain tomatoes. So my job, that was my side. It was more garlic, ginger. We'd have, they're called tobins. So they're big steel containers, and we'd fill them with the ingredients from the recipe. So yeah, quite a heavy job, quite busy. Working the night shift, we had always a lot to do, and the other shifts there was more people in the chiller. and they just did half of what we did. You know, there was always a bit of rivalry between shifts, other shifts being a bit petty and complaining, and but we always got all the batches done, like 25, 30 batches. Sometimes we'd use, the pallets of tomatoes were 990 odd kilo, and we'd sometimes use 4 or 5 pallets of each tomato. So, yeah, it really was busy. Um, but yeah, I miss it. I really, really miss it. I miss all my friends. I've worked there for over 3 years, and we were quite good at the job. We got everything done. We always cleaned the chiller where we worked, so we could leave. The next shift that came on, the 6-2 shift, would have a nice area to work in, but they'd always complain. They'd always find something and say this and that. I think there was a lot of jealousy between shifts. I don't know why, it's just pathetic really, but it seemed like we were working for different companies, the different shifts. But we didn't really cause any problems on the night shift. It was always the other shifts. Just tit for tat really. I think it's like that in a lot of workplaces. So yeah, that's what I did for a living. We do make rice, and I was responsible for a while of making all the rice on my own. So the biryani, egg fried rice, chicken fried rice, special fried rice. It was me that did a lot of the rice as well. And this would be like, can't remember a batch. It'd be how much? I think it was 1,500 kilos, something like that per batch. So you had these big tanks you had to add the rice to, and obviously, depending on the rice, you'd have different ingredients to add to that as well, different stages of the cooking. So they go into a big kettle, they call them, and then you'd have some time to cook before you add the next ingredients, and get your next batch as well ready, because you don't want to stop the kettle from cooking. Obviously, it's about timing. So while the cooking stage, you got downtime where you're not adding anything. You got like 40 minutes to get your next ingredients ready, your next batch in the corridor ready, so that when you've finished that batch and dropped it, had to scrape the big kettles out myself and put them in containers, and then they'd obviously go to get packed on the line. So that was my job. Big part of it as a man, a job, satisfaction. Tit for tat, yeah. When I saw a mill operation night shift and the nighting and backbiting between shifts was insane. Yeah, I really don't get it. You know, we was that busy in the chiller. We had that many batches to do. There wasn't really time for this. You know, we just got on with our work. You know, we were there to work, and it's just funny the way people. You know, and I say it all the time, you could have the best job in the world. There'll always be someone who will spoil it. You know, there's just those people, unfortunately. So you just get on with it, right? Definitely. Okay, so this is just a brown. I think it'll be a Van Dyke brown. This is Schminke Horadam paints that I'm using. Really lovely paints, nice and saturated. Oh, by the way, you can see the tape. I've got the tape on the corners of this time, and the reason why, you might be wondering, this is like a deckled edge, but if you put tape all the way across, when taking it off, it I've ripped the paper a few times. The top is clean cut, but the bottom is definitely got a deckled sort of edge, they call, where it's not like torn off the machine, how they're made, I don't know. But yeah, you just got to be careful. This is it's quite a thick paper, it's quite heavy paper, and it's rough. It's got a nice texture to it. But yeah, it does come with that edge, so you just got to be careful if you do use any paper like this with a deckled edge. If you do tape your paper, that is. I know I've seen a lot of people clip the paper to the board. I just don't have any clips that are big enough, and you just get a bit more buckling as well when you're adding water to paper and it starts to go a bit bumpy. It can be a little bit tricky to work with once it does that. But the tape suffices for me. Sad really, it's a collective goal. Do your job work 100% easy. Yeah, you just get on with it. We had just too much to do. We didn't have time. I wasn't interested in other people. And there's always a lot of jealousy as well. You know, we did have sort of nice breaks. You're supposed to have 15-minute break and then a 25-minute. But by the time you've took your PPE off, your wellies, all your sort of gear to go in the canteen, there's not a lot of time left. But we did, when you've got 20 to 25, sometimes 30 batches to do, and the other shifts sort of finish on 8, I just think, well, we do have those unauthorized breaks, I suppose. So we was always getting in trouble, but they can't argue. How can they argue when we sort of carry the factory, really? But you do always have those people, unfortunately. It doesn't matter what job you do, there's always those people who are going to spoil things, and it always backfires because when people complain and go to the management and things like that, it backfires for them as well, because then they start, getting people to clock out for your breaks, things like that, and it includes them. So people think they're smart. People think they're, the grasses, the snitches, whatever. It just always backfires on them as well. But that's just life. And that's why it's nice to, have YouTube. There's no one sort of causing any problems. This is my space. This is a safe space, and this is what I enjoy doing. And it's just nice to have something apart from work that you can sort of keep yourself busy doing. So I'm just adding some. Let me move the camera again. I do apologise. This is on my ring light, so it's not the easiest to use to film, but I'm just looking for a solution how I can film without as much, well, a better way to film, I suppose. So you can see normally the liner brush is it's mostly useful for branches, twigs, sticks, grasses, that sort of thing, but I do like to use it every now and then. It just gives a nice unique mark, unique brush stroke to the painting when you're not doing branches, but I'm doing these rocks, and you can see it moves quite a lot, so you're not. So it just gives a little sort of what do you call it? Authenticity. I don't know. Just gives a nice, not so generic look, I suppose. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you can see the effects anyway. Hopefully you can see that. I've only used Schminke a few times. I got a 5-pack of vegan friendly earth colours, very hard to use, but I think they were a gimmick line of the paints maybe. Ah, okay. Is that different to the Horadam? I don't know. But I really do like the Schmincke Horadam. And there's also the Schmincke super granulating as well, which if you've not tried, Jim, really nice paints. I think this might be a super granulating paint that I'm using. I did get myself, I first of all got the palette, and then I bought a few sort of loose paints as well. In fact, I didn't buy the tubes, these were the pans. So I think when I start running out and I need more, I will be buying the tubes. I think the more, you get more for your money, definitely. And it's nice just to squeeze out more paint as you need. So yeah, the Schmincke Horadam, I really, really do like these paints. Now let's see. I can add. Let's see. I think I can maybe add some colour to this. Just darken this a little bit, and that will help this water area. It'll just give a little bit of separation. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. A little bit of separation from this mound of. Oh yeah, this scene is a made-up scene, so I'm not sure, but this would be a bit of a land mass area in the distance before this sort of mountain range. So if I add a little bit of dark to that, and hopefully that will make a difference. So I'm going to change my brushes. Okay, what are you saying? Yes, there's a hologram. 15 tubes. Horadam, yep. Yeah, definitely worth trying, Jim. Definitely worth just get maybe 2 or 3 colours at a time and see if you like them. See if you like them, but I really do enjoy using these paints. Now I'm going to add a bit more cerulean blue, and I'm just using the same mix that I've been using. I'm just adding different colours to it. So I don't want to complicate things. If you know me, I like to make things as easy as I can. I like to simplify things. I need more water to this. So, it might be a bit dark. We can fix it. Let me. So you can see the effect I get with this paper and drier brushes. As my brush dries, it is a really nice texture. So let me just smooth out that. And these sparkles in the distance, when you're doing hills, it really is nice because you can just get these sparkles, and there could be buildings in the background. There could be things going on. You don't have to, because it's so far away, you don't have to know what it is, but it does offer another level of interest to your painting. Okay, so I've not quite made my way up to the Daniel Smith paints yet. I just find them just a little bit in my price range at the moment, but I really do want to try the Daniel Smith paints. I really do want to try, because I know from other people, watching people, and I just know that they're going to be really good quality. Obviously, it's just a matter of price for me at the moment. Like anything, you get what you can for the price, what you can afford, and I just can't justify that at the moment. But I think one day I will. Even just get a couple of colours. I know the Moon Glow and the, what is it, sea green, deep sea green or something, look really, really nice, and I do want to try those. Even if I just buy those colours and just add them to my palettes. I think that would be quite nice, just to give me a little experience with Daniel Smith. Okay, so that mountain now, you can see it has added more, just more interest. It's given it more presence in the scene, if you know what I mean. And I think I'll probably, once this dries a little bit, I will probably make this separation a little bit more visible. Okay. So you off work today, Jim? And when are you planning on going to the hills? Okay. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm looking at the mic and it's still showing up as it's still on, which is a good thing. I think now let's see. I'm going to add a little bit more to the sky. So I want a little bit of drama, a little bit more drama in the sky. Daniel Smith are great. I got a 12-pan set, like them. Also Charvin from France, they are lovely. I sold everything I opened after the divorce, so spent at a bit on paints, etc. Yeah, it's just an investment. So how are you doing, Jim, after your divorce? Hopefully, you're in a good place, I suppose. These things happen, and sometimes, it's life can be tough, definitely. So hopefully you're in a good place, and just paint. If that helps the situation, then just go for it. It really does help me, and it just gives me that happy place. You know what? I feel really lucky as well, because you can take this anywhere with you. It's not something it's within. It's a skill that you can learn, and it's something from within. So it's like no one can take that away from me. Okay. And the good thing as well, I've got a friend here on YouTube, Alan Owen. If you've seen him do his painting, I think he's in his 80s. So it doesn't matter how old you are, it's something you can keep doing, as long as you can sort of move your hands. You don't really need that much mobility, and it's something you can do for the rest of your days. Definitely. Okay, I think I need to blot that a little bit. There we go. Okay, I think, that looks a bit better. Now let's add some, let me pull the camera a little bit. Just going to add some of this dark. It's always nice, I think I did say it in my last video, when you're doing a painting, it's nice to get dark around the edges, the corners, and that just brings your eye into the scene. It sort of frames the scene, so you got these dark edges, if you know what I mean. It really does help the composition on the paper. So add some more of this dark. When it comes to clouds, you want some sort of movement in the clouds, so you want to almost run out of paint, and just you can see what I'm doing with the brush, just there we go. Add a little bit more water. I want to soften some of that. But this really is nice paper. I think it might be £400 in weight. and it's a rough paper, so it's got some really nice textures from it. I follow Peter Woolley. Yeah, I've seen him a few times. Incredibly good, very different style. Yeah, I do like watching his videos. I don't know why, but I've not seen any for a while. I did think I subscribed, but I've certainly not had any notifications. I've not seen him for a while. I'm going to check him out, I think. Yeah, really nice artist, really good at his teaching. So yeah, I'm going to have a look, see what's happened. I don't know. I don't recall unsubscribing. I think I did that. Have you seen his videos lately? Peter Woolley's? I don't know. I don't know whether he still posts. There's another guy as well that I started when I first started with YouTube. There's a guy by the name of Patrick Greaves, and he just sort of, he was doing a lot of watercolor paintings. He had a big following, a lot of really good content. I really love his style, his painting. And he just took time out. He went back into, well, I don't know whether he did oils originally, but he went back or started oils, and I don't really see much of him. I don't think he posts very much now. But yeah, really good artist. I think we really are fortunate with YouTube. You know, it doesn't matter what you're into, what you like to watch, but it's just all here, available on YouTube. Really good, really helpful. Okay, he's been doing a lot of travel on the cruise boats and teaching classes. Peter posts every 6 weeks or so, other commitments, etc. Yeah, life's busy, you know, especially if you do work and you've got a career. It's, you know, it's just life, and that's why I'm grateful that even though it's a health thing with me, but I do have more time to make the most of that. I would love to be working still. I miss my job. It's been, I think, middle of October when I left, went on the sick. But yeah, I do miss it. I would certainly rather be doing that if I could. But yeah, sometimes life's life, and you got to take time out, and you know, your health is really important as well. So you just got to look after yourself. Work's not everything. You got a family to support and be with, then you know, work's not everything. It does help, but yeah. Okay, what can I do to improve? Maybe I can add some foliage to these trees, just a little bit. Not gonna do too many details, but I'm gonna add a little bit of this raw sienna. I think that would be quite nice on one or two of the trees, not all of them. And a bit of yellow ochre sort of mix, a little bit more brown, just add a bit dark. Just going to add a little bit of colour, inject a little bit of colour in a couple of these trees. Can you see? Hopefully you can see that. Just a little bit here and there. I think it's one of those things that, well, definitely less is more. You can see now it's just a nice impression of tree foliage, which I'm using my liner brush still, so it's quite nice. Were you a big drinker at all? Not really. I don't drink at the moment. I don't drink now. I did used to drink, and I didn't have a drink for 20 odd years, not even a drop. I was teetotal. But then when we went to Turkey in the summer last year? Last year, I did have my first cocktail. I've never really, I haven't a clue when it comes to drink. People say all these Jaeger bombs and all these different sort of drinks, and I'd never tried. So I'm not really a big drinker, but I did enjoy a few cocktails. Quite surprised, really. But because I wasn't well, I really struggled on holiday. It did help. It did help. It helped me sleep. I had quite a lot of drink, but yeah, I didn't get really sozzled or anything like that. But I did enjoy my first cocktails. My son was laughing. He was, oh, don't drink, Dad, don't drink. He'd never seen me drink, or me and my wife. He'd never seen us drink before. And he's like, please don't drink, Dad, don't drink. He just thought, I don't know what he thought in his mind. But after a couple of nights, he's like, yeah, you having a few drinks, and he was quite happy to see me drink then, because he said I was funny. So I didn't have, for me, if I did have too much to drink, like way too much, and I was too drunk, I'd just be quiet. I'd just go quiet and go to bed. I'm not one of these that sort of have a drink and then start singing and that sort of thing. So, do you like to drink, Jim? I'm alcohol. You're an alcoholic, or you're alcohol? You like alcohol? A lot of people do nowadays. It's just commonplace, but it's not really. I did have quite a bit to drink on holiday, but I've not really had a drink since. I keep thinking, oh, it'd be nice to have some drink. I see these Effies, which they sold. It's a beer in Turkey, and I see that, and I think, oh, I don't mind. A couple of drinks, but no, it's not really. It's something I can take or leave. Mostly leave, but I think if I get myself abroad again, all inclusive, I will be making the most of that, let's say. So yeah, I'm more of a foodie, I think, because in the family we're more into food. Kind of got on outgoing battle with the bottle. Hey, but love it. Yeah. Well, you're not on your own. People do have these things, addictions, things like that, and I can understand. That. It's just not really something that I do. But yeah, are you trying to stop drinking, or you say you love it but hate it? Yeah, I can understand that, definitely. I think sometimes just life can be difficult. It throws you a curveball. Obviously, with your divorce, things like that, it can be quite difficult. So is it something you want to stop doing? You want to stop drinking, or do you enjoy it? I know quite a funny story. Another food place that I worked at many years ago, there was a work colleague, and he was from my old school as well, my high school. He started working there, and we used to get paid weekly. And I think it was Thursday or something like that. We'd get paid, and he just always had time off, especially on a Thursday. We'd get paid, and you won't see him again for the week. and it just got a little bit too much. He was having sort of regular time off, sort of nearly every week, and he got called into HR, had an interview, and they said, "Oh, we noticed there's a pattern in your absence, in your attendance. So can you know, what's going on?" And bless him, it was completely honest. He said, "Well, to be honest, I have a drink. I have a drink when I get paid, and I get drunk, and I don't show in for the shift." I said, "Oh, well, why didn't you tell us about this? We could help you." He said, "No, I don't want help. I enjoy it." Hence to say that it didn't last long after that. He was sacked. But yeah, that's the way it is for some people. Killing your health. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Jim. You know, if you feel that way, maybe, I don't know, cut down, or it definitely can be difficult. So I do hear, I do sympathize. But yeah, maybe if you try, maybe go to the gym. I don't know. Go to the gym. Just replace that with some good habits. You've probably heard that before. It's like the old cliche, but it's certainly true. If you've got something that you want to give up, then you can always try and replace it with something good. Maybe do more paintings. I never missed work, but for 15 years I was 12 beer a night average. Wow, 12 beers a night. Is that a pint? 12 pints? I don't know. I'm surprised. You know, you get these older people, and they just spend their time all day in the pub. I just don't know how they afford it. I just couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine that life. People do what they do, and I'm not judging. Certainly not judging. It's people's lives, but I just couldn't. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. Go sort of to the pub in the morning, come back in the evening with a kebab under the arm. I don't know. I just, it's never really been for me. So I guess I'm lucky in that way. Lucky. But yeah, it is what it is. A lot of people do it. You're certainly not on your own. But is it something you do want to stop? I'm just going to add a little bit more. This is probably too much of a big brush. Let me use my finger just to get some of that. I don't see anything else I need to do at the moment with this. So it may be a good place to just stop, because I think I don't overwork things, but I think if I do carry on, it probably will become overworked. That'd be a nice change, wouldn't it? Rather than underpaint, so overwork and underwork, if that makes sense. Definitely something that I'm guilty of. Hopefully you can see the whole painting. Let me just bring the camera back a little. Hopefully you can see that. I have just added some more details, obviously darkened the mountain. I've added a little bit more to the sky just to give a little bit more drama. You can see the bits of clouds and some of the blues coming through. Took this tone up a little bit, so it's a little bit darker. I think that it has more of an effect on the painting. Added a little bit of colour to this band of land in the sort of background before these mountains, and then just added a few things as I feel. Obviously the trees have had an improvement, and I've planted some more trees on the mountainside. But let's see, so maybe 7 pints equivalent there. Yeah, definitely. But I think that's it for this week's live. I will be going live again next Tuesday. that's going to be my minimum schedule. If I can do one before then I might pop in and do another live. But I will let you know if I do have extra videos coming. I'm going to do a bit of a vlog style video probably next, and just see what else I can do. I'm just trying to up my videos, my uploads, things like that, just to build more of a community. So I really do thank you for being here. Hopefully you like this video. Drop us a like, leave a comment. I really do love reading your feedback. Excuse me. So yeah, just let me know what you think. If you're not subscribed to my channel, then please do subscribe for weekly content. Hit your notification bell, and you won't miss any of my future uploads. But yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here, Jim. Thanks for everyone else. I don't see anyone else's comments. I think maybe you're only one, but thanks for being here. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.